you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Hello there. Welcome to the Flash and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. Right, so above me, you'll be able to see our part-time guest, Adam Purcell from the Staggering Stories podcast. That side of me, I'm getting this right, this is amazing, is the Brian.
Hello.
Brian, are you still insisting on being American?
Yeah. I
okay.
am looking into transferring my citizenship to Mars. It's just a process.
Oh, okay. Hello, Christian. First in chat. Hooray. Well done. And
Hello,
sort of
people in
that
chat.
away. Thank you very much, Brian. No idea what that does, but it does a thing. Yeah, my internet's doing that thing again.
Yeah.
And your stream is just there we go.
Is it all right?
And it's back. Now we have your start screen.
Right, but are we there?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we're
right.
there.
Okay, that's something. I'm very sorry about this, folks. My internet provider, Virgin Media, for some reason, around about this time of night, most evenings, it'll suddenly go nuts for about 15 minutes, turning itself on and off.
I'm
I
on
don't
the
know
same
why.
local exchange, so I don't know why it's different.
Wish I
It's
knew.
probably just the lines going to the house.
Yeah. What about my back? Sorry, reading chat. Yes, so Dr. Sinister had to say hello. Hello, Dr. Sinister.
Hello. I've got fibre to the premises, so I'm sorted.
I don't know what's Virgin. It's cable, isn't it? So it's fibre, isn't it?
Well, it's fibre to the cabins, and then it's coax from there.
Okay. That's fast enough for me. When it works.
Should be
I'm
200
honest
meg down. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do the rounds. Oh, first things first. Tonight's lyrics, boys. We'll have some connection with tonight's show. You've got until the end of the show to work out what it was. You failed miserably.
Is it
last
a
week.
Beatles lyric?
No, it's not a Beatles lyric.
They're not in Liverpool then.
Is it John Hurt in 1984?
No, but I can see where you're coming from. That's good thinking.
I'm trying.
Last week you failed miserably. I was doing an abridged cover version of Silence. And I'm not going to tell you who originally did it because I looked it up on Wikipedia and the amount of cover versions of Silence there are is ludicrous.
Is it John Cage? No?
Weird. Right, so, yes, let's do the rounds. Brian, how's your week been?
Busy. Very, very busy and hectic and mind-numbing. And
Yeah.
I've lost sanity for this week.
Okay, I need to turn you up a little bit. You're quite quiet for some reason. Don't worry. I'll do it my end. FNA.
Okay.
Let's turn him up a bit more. There we go. He's suddenly going to start talking loudly.
Is this better now?
Yeah, it seems to be.
Have I hit an acceptable volume?
Wait until the adverts kick in, then they'll be really loud.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Should I do it now, though, just to get it out of the way?
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a vid.
Oh, I cringe.
Today's
every
episode has been
time.
brought to you by Skillshare.
I know,
And
Squarespace.
Channel Legend.
Squarespace. That's going to be the next war. Skillshare versus Squarespace with Simon Whistler in the middle.
And
That's who they
don't
win.
forget NordVPN.
And
yeah.
Yes. Oh, dear me. Right. Okay. Hopefully this will keep going. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. Sinister, how was your week?
My week's been really busy, and I'm actually very pleased that we are going to be allowed back at the office next week.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
we'll have to. You're just looking forward to coming and having another breakfast at the cafe.
Well, that too.
Yes. Understandable. Old man Purcell?
Again, busy. Yep. Podcast editing, work, recorded another podcast this morning, oddly, with Australians.
Ooh.
Our top 15 TV series of last year.
Fair enough.
So look out for
Look
that.
for-
When is your podcast out?
This one, it's up to they're putting it out. It's the Nerd Out podcast.
No,
by Tom.
your own podcast, the one people know.
Oh, that was out this morning.
Right, and how
Sorry,
can
so this
people
is out this
find
morning.
it?
She's letting you plug yourself.
Yes,
Go for
basically.
it.
Pick up on this.
Like
Come on.
myself. It is on www.staggingstories.net.
Wow.
Or .com, it actually works too now. But
Anyway, welcome to the Superior Crawley Show. Possibly. Maybe. Who are we kidding?
We
Right.
set the bar, Siobhan.
We
we
do
set
set
it
the bar.
low,
We
but we
set
set-
that bar. Damn straight. Yeah.
Loki might top the show, by the
So
way.
news. News. Well, season 22 is going to be released on Blu-ray. And
Yeah.
there's a beautiful trailer for it. I now hand you over to El Medico Sinisterio to let us know about it, because you wanted to talk about this, Andrew.
Oh, I just
Oh, hello.
sorry, I'm eating hula hoops. That's how professional I am.
what flavour?
I just wanted to say, actually, it was quite
Hello, sweetheart.
it was quite apt, given that we tried to watch Mind Warp last week, which leaves a very bitter taste in the mouth, and suddenly, 35 years later or whatever it is, we actually finally find out that Perry is fine, and she actually hooked up back with the Sixth Doctor again, and it almost brought a tear to my eye.
It did, and Nicola Bryant played it superbly. And there's just a couple of moments where the Queen vanishes and Perry comes out, and you
Yeah.
know that's the same character. I especially love the "keep your spats on" line.
It would be interesting to see what her first meeting with the Doctor was like after the events of Thoros Beta, because
Well,
I
if
can't
you-
imagine it would have been.
No, you left me behind with this guy.
Well, you can look at the
And you were being a turd.
the Virgin New Adventure. Bad Therapy explores this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, like there's
How
a
does
corner-
that? How does that tie in with the now established canon?
Not very. So
No.
yes,
Because don't forget, there's also the DWM comic strip to take into account, where Doctor and Frobisher went back to get Perry.
yes. This is where the whole Marinus being Cybermen thing came from.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What was I going to say?
In summary,
Yes,
it's complicated.
yes, frankly, as a scientist, I can
It's
say that
exactly
with
who
absolute conviction.
No.
What it raised an interesting point, though. For the 60th anniversary, how about an adventure with just the companions?
Seeing all the
Including
lives
classic
that the Doctor has
companion.
touched over the
Yeah,
years.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not bring back the classic ones, some of the new ones? You don't even need a doctor. You could just have that lot working together.
In the times, in the, Death Zone, rather, yeah.
On the topic of the 60th,
That's
Yeah.
the five companions.
on the topic of the 60th,
Yes.
and in fact, the imminently approaching return of RTD,
Ah, yes, I
are
think
are we going to talk about that rumor?
we were, but I need to work very, very hard to keep a straight face doing so.
Okay.
The rumour is, boys and girls, cover your ears, Adam. You don't want to know this
I
spoiler.
don't want to hear this, Adam.
It's okay. I think I heard this rumour. Ridiculous though it may be.
Yeah.
David Tennant will be back, not playing the 10th Doctor, but the 14th Doctor. He'll be there for 3 specials, then regenerate. You know how
do you feel
stupid
about
we're
it?
all going to look if that turns out to be true.
I could see him coming back for some specials as the 10th Doctor, maybe the Hand Doctor. Maybe even as a mini-series later in the day. But as the 14th Doctor, no.
Yeah, I heard this rumor this morning when I woke up, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I started to laugh. And then there's just this tiny little bit inside of me thinking, RTD is mad enough to do it.
Well, we know for a fact he's getting the gang back together.
Yeah, Phil Collinson's back
Gang
on as
bang.
producer.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
Eccleston confirmed for the 60th then.
Can I just say, I don't wholly object to this idea.
Okay. Fair enough.
Given that we have met the 4th Doctor in another potential alternate regeneration, and he said you're going to be revisiting a few old faces.
Oh,
You know,
I see what you've done there. I see what you've done there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily. I'm not saying it's true, but I don't have a problem with it. But lots of people seem to.
I don't know. I mean, the Tennant thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's blatantly ridiculous. But like I say, there's just this tiny part of me that thinks they're mad enough to do it.
It
I don't
strikes
think
me
they
as-
will.
That's it, what, sorry?
It strikes me as completely pandering to
Yeah.
his fan base.
Yeah.
But the question is, if he comes back as the 14th Doctor and not the 10th, how is he going to play it differently?
Scottish
Scottish
accent.
accent.
Sorry?
Prayer.
Scots accent.
Yeah, Scottish accent. Beyond that,
Destroyed
Wait,
by his kids.
You know it's going to be somebody completely out of the blue that we wouldn't have thought of in a decade, don't you?
probably.
Hugh Laurie.
That would be awesome.
Oh, Hugh's getting on a bit now, though.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Eddie Redmayne.
No, that would just be Matt Smith Mark II.
Danny Dyer.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm glad
Harry
you
say it as well.
something.
They would say you're barred from my
Ballpark.
TARDIS. Fuck off.
There was other news as well. Was there news? No, that
Maybe
was the
dead.
news. That was the news. Snoring. Yes.
Snoring.
Snoring.
Oh, by the way, snoring.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget the snoring.
Why do I
You
bother?
asked us to remind you of the snoring.
Why do I
Yep.
bother? Tales of Old Fandom. This needs some
Wait.
sort of. I'm sorry. It needs some sort of, I don't know, old mysterious organ noise music, like they used to have on things, normally in America. Anyway, yes. Tales of Old Fandom, in which I occasionally dredge something up from my memory and commit it to this, because I'm really worried.
Do a lawsuit.
Yeah, I'm very worried that all fandom's memories are going to just vanish when we die. The program's
We'll do
been
that.
program's been catalogued to hell, but there's so much about fandom that's just being lost, and it's sad.
Not always a bad thing, but okay.
No, not necessarily, but there's so much. Anyway, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first Fan Olympiad. This was in 1990.
One, maybe?
E1. I think.
Wilderness years.
I think.
Oh, I was in junior high.
Fuck off.
Or no, junior year.
And hang on, I think it's. Oh no. And anyway, Fan Olympiads were a bit snobby, to be honest with you. I look back on that now and say that
Yeah.
it was basically 100 or so, more or less, maybe. Well, 100 people were invited, picked fans, to come along to a hotel, pretend to be poets, and instead play very silly party games against each other. The prize was the Soft Eric. which I believe was a woolly hat. I could be wrong. I think Heather.
There was actually a toy, wasn't there? Originally, then it went missing.
Yeah, I think Heather lost it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think we got the hard Eric or the slightly harder Eric. I can't remember. But anyway, so it's a fascinating time. It's a fun time. I keep stopping. This is really going to piss me off. You know that, don't you?
Your video feed is fine. What do you mean stopping?
Well, yeah, you've not stopped here.
Everything is going fine.
Yep.
Okay. Let's fuck off, Sid. Let's see how long he. Oh, too late. Yeah. Now I'd gone up there. I basically got national. Ooh. Yes.
Doesn't matter too much, does it?
Well, no, but I'm telling the tale. National Express coach up to. We stopped off at Salisbury, which was nice. Got to see the cathedral. Missing out on the Olympiad, but seeing the cathedral.
Yeah, a bit out of your way. But okay.
Yeah, and then we ended up in Bath.
Oh, it's in Bath, was it? Okay, not so much.
Picked fans. What was the criteria? People that we knew and they knew.
Not sure. I didn't go to the first one. I went to the Crawley one.
Yeah. That was the fourth one, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so get up there, having a whale of a time. Absolutely having a whale of a time. And obviously needed somewhere to sleep. Ended up going back with a load of others to Paul Cornell's place, which I think was a first floor flat. Can't remember. And so the floor is absolutely covered with people. And I ended up being head to head with a guy called John Head. No pun intended. I miss John Head greatly. I haven't seen him in decades, and apparently he's doing really well as a grip. Shut up, Adam.
I'm right there with him. I'm just...
Yeah, I know. You're holding on. Thank you.
Not by much, though.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a fine night's sleep. Tad Hood was making coffee for everybody when we were waking up. I kept noticing people giving me not very nice looks. They were also giving John not very nice looks. Turns out...
You may be snoring.
I'd been snoring for half the night, and when I stopped, John started.
Took it in shift.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. Tag teaming it.
We were fine. We slept straight through the whole lot. Had a fine night's sleep. Nobody else got anything. There we go. That was a tale from old fandom. Doesn't go anywhere, but that's something that happened.
When I went to the Fan Olympiad, I went home because it was in Crawley, where my house was.
Yeah, seriously, Chris. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't remember where I was living for the Fan Olympiad. One of those awful private tenant rent thingies, rent a room in a house. I never ever want to go back to that. I was moving every couple of months.
Yeah, I remember that well.
Yes, I know, because it was you I kept asking for help.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, did I ever say thank you? Yeah, so there you go. Tell all fandom. If I remember anything else, I'll...
Is that the one where everybody broke a leg?
No, that's Fan Olympiad 2, where they decided to have a football match.
Right.
That is where the limb breaking occurred.
There are many broken limbs.
But it was painful. I'm glad I wasn't involved. I didn't go to that Olympiad. Yeah, then you had Fan Olympiad North, which was Manchester. That was really cool. Had a very interesting Saturday night. Led to Cornell walking past me going, bastard. Anyway, I leave it to your imaginations. Oh dear. Sorry, I've just remembered something else from that. That's embarrassing. Yeah. So that was that. I just thought I'd chuck that in. So there you go. Memory.
Now, recorded history.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredibly
Consider it
unimportant. It's useless, but what the fuck, it's there. You know? You'll have to start telling us some of your memories from Carousel and whatever.
God,
Did you
my memory's
renew?
terrible.
Sorry?
Did he renew?
Yeah, I flew up in the air and I was fine. It was all
Oh, nice. You went from red to what? Green?
bit off green, I think.
Okay. And we've lost her.
Yeah.
There is no sanctuary.
Just remember, fish,
No, but Jenny Agutter got all clothes off, so you know. I
plankton
wasn't
from the
complaining.
sea.
Boys and girls, I'm terribly sorry for the surrealism in tonight's show. I don't know what the boys have been on. Possibly the lollies I sent out. We're not sure. I sent them by email.
We've been on a bit of Logan's Run.
Yeah, indeed.
Righty-ho. Good. That's nice. Shall we do what we came here for?
Nah.
Oh, all right then. Fuck that.
Alcohol and bullshitting?
Oh well, yes. We should talk about the RPG. Yeah, our Star Wars RPG, which for some bizarre reason known only to Brian here, who's the games master, is set in the Battlestar Galactica universe.
You went through a black hole. If
Yeah.
you can't remember the giant black disc that sucked you guys through.
Yeah. Now, Rutter in chat has said it was a disaster.
Yeah.
It depends how you look at it, if I'm honest with you. If you look at the fact that very possibly we completely destroyed what the Games Master had planned, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's true. But if you also look at the fact that we all laughed so much we peed our pants, that also is a good takeaway from it.
I would just like to note one thing for future references in games.
Yes, please.
I will be enacting a new rule for the RPG
Yes.
that when Spanky becomes the voice of reason, things have gone very, very, very wrong.
The
This
setup.
is true.
The setup, okay? Because we didn't stream it. We should have streamed it. Part of me's glad we didn't, because some of the stuff that we were coming out with. Anyway. The setup basically is...
He's a murder hobo. Literally.
We've just rescued what turns out to be a boomer Cylon. Now, obviously, as players, we know this. But our characters don't know she's a Cylon. Except I was suspicious of her anyway. She's the only one who's survived the Rakghoul Plague.
So therefore, we must kill her.
No. Because Retta's character then turned around and told me she'd seen loads of them.
And she's always right about everything, so kill her.
Fair.
But
You
no.
did fuck with-
I was saving you guys, and B, I wanted the head because it's a fucking droid, all right? And we could have put in some electrodes and whatever, and basically tried to find out information from the brain.
But all our bioscans showed that she was organic.
Yeah, you've also got to remember I was suffering from the Rakghoul Plague as well at the time. Now, of course, before I managed to kill Boomer, who was an important NPC and was there to guide our way,
Yeah.
this is when Spanky, who those of you who know Spanky or have seen the show with him, will understand Brian's new rule. Spanky became the voice of reason, which was to anaesthetize me. We were in the med bay. And so he went to do that. And it was then that he critically fumbled.
Yeah.
So he tranquilizes himself, knocks himself out, allowing me to kill the Boomer Cylon.
In front of
In front
Colin.
of Colin, who just goes catatonic, this 8-year-old child.
He's beheaded somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went very, very wrong last night, but it did show Brian two things. It showed Brian how Adam and I normally roleplay. Okay, I blow things up because I haven't got the patience with it. Adam runs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to
Adam's
admit,
reaction to the beginning insanity
Yeah.
was my reaction to this entire month of work.
what?
What? How? What?
Adam's character missed all this and walked in and was just,
Yeah.
"What?"
Why? How?
I want to know what Hex makes of it.
We should really
Possibly.
congratulate him, though.
Oh, very much so. Yes, Hex, Spanky's brother, little brother. Apparently, according to Brian last night, Hex himself had a baby.
Well,
Having a
Hex
baby.
will be having a baby
Yeah.
in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
I think it might be his missus who's having the baby, love.
Either way, I'm still voting for that they named the child Colin.
Or Siobhan. Siobhan's a lovely name.
Colin's a very good name for a son.
The trouble is, Colin isn't really an American name. Over here it is, and they're normally complete spods.
Colin Powell.
Yeah, but it's a very rare name in America.
Fair few.
So they'd be unique then.
Exactly.
Yes, because you want to be unique and stand out at school. Just thinking of the child. Dear, shut up, Marcel. Right, so yeah, we don't know where the because Brian ended up taking control of my character because apparently I'd been possessed by the dark side. Now, my initial thing to kill Boomer was not dark side motivated. It was light side motivated. I was trying to save the crew and get some information.
You can try to pass that off as much as you want.
That's true. It's true. After what Retta told me, that's a droid. But Brian read that as going dark side. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that symptoms of going dark side were very similar to the symptoms of Rakghoul plague, so I thought I just had the fucking plague. I'm hoping the rest of them are going to be able to stop me, whereupon Spanky injects himself with bloody. I ended up getting possessed by a Sith Lord.
And then he doses you.
I get Spanky decides to try tranquilizing me again, and this time hits me with amphetamine. So I'm off my face, wandering around. I have no idea where we ended up. It was some place. It was to the north of the settlement, wasn't it? That's right.
It's north.
Yeah,
Planets have a north.
yeah. And there was a fight where Adam ran away. Rightly so. And then of all bloody things, that awful NPC he only created to wind me up turns out to be the bloody Deus Ex Machina. It's, yeah. Fucking Colin. I
Too much
never
information,
liked
but
my
okay.
male name. I'm glad he's dead. Yes, Retta? That's true as well. Yes.
Yes.
Oh dear. Anyway, you
I'm
never know.
gonna
This may have
refer
shaken her faith. This may have shaken Ella's faith.
This could have. I mean, her god has become possessed.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we do what we came here for?
Half hour later, why not?
Why not? Yes. Where? Oh, there it is. Right, and now from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who, probably. dear me. A Doctor Who is on trial.
Not in the version I saw. Okay.
Oh, you watched the one with you watched it as if lovely. You can tell us about that. And the trial scenes are becoming very annoying and intrusive. And he was presenting his defence from the future. The defence being that he doesn't actually, he gets better. He's not so naughty. Whereupon we meet Melanie, known as Mel. And that's my dog sneezing. Because a Doctor Who and Melanie, known as Mel, who's his plucky girl assistant, they pick up a distress call with some comedy exercise stuff and carrot juice.
Yeah, so we introduced to her, ordering him to exercise.
This is from the Doctor's future, so Melanie is from the Doctor's future. He hasn't met her yet. Remember that, folks. He hasn't met her yet.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have to turn to Big Finish for that. So, it's Terror of the Vervoids.
Yeah.
Trial of a Time Lord, parts 9 to 12.
Yep. Or story 3.
Shall we get the mention of the design of the Vervoids out of the way now?
Slightly yonic.
It's a bit unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that I think one of them has a Brummie accent.
Why not? Why should they not have accents?
Anyhow, Honor Blackman's in it.
She is.
She is, and somehow takes it seriously.
She doesn't have a great deal to do, to be fair. But
This is Pip and Jane Baker's first Doctor Who script.
Jiff and Payne. Yep.
And it is, in fact, a good old-fashioned murder mystery. It's Murder on the Orient Express up to a point.
It is because they actually have that book
They do.
on a desk, on a table there. Yep. Drive home that point.
And it's, as it turns out, it's all Janet the stewardess's fault, according to Gary Russell.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I think she probably did kill the Mulgarians.
Okay, you reckon? Right. Ooh, interesting.
Because they turn around and say, we didn't want drinks, something like that. We didn't order drinks. Why would they say that to Doland, or whatever his name is? I think she probably offed them, but I think it's all she did.
Interesting.
But why?
Why not everybody
racist.
else is doing something?
She's just
Yeah.
a racist.
Wouldn't
She
this
just
be
wanted to be a bit of a hero, get the ship back from being hijacked.
Twice.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, to solve
Unfortunate to that.
everything, Vervoids, obviously, they're plant-based. Well, they are plants, and therefore be susceptible to high bouts of infrared or ultraviolet or something. And they age to death. So the Doctor does that using Vianesium. And they age to death. And so he gets accused of genocide,
Yeah.
which is a fair call. It was it's a close run thing. What would have happened to whichever planet they were going to if the Vervoids had got down there?
Yeah, because apparently one leaf is enough.
Apparently,
sure.
yes.
That's how leaves work, I don't think.
I don't know.
No.
I think you need
Anyway.
seeds for that.
Dr. Sinister's been very quiet. Let's get Dr. Sinister doing some talking. Say in, do talking.
I quite like Terror of the Vervoids. It's cheesy, but in a nice way.
Overlit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, apart possibly putting Janet the stewardess aside, I don't think there's anybody on the ship without some kind of ulterior motive for being there, except maybe the old man who gets killed very early on.
Oh, yes. That was so sad.
I just want to get this out of the way. They don't wash towels in the future. They just dump
No.
them into the pulverizer.
Yeah. I've got that noted down here too. I never noticed that before today.
Bloody hell, you've got notes. You've done homework. Shit.
I thought that was odd. The Vervoids, they're okay. I mean, I like the fact. I liked the premise that they've Lasky's basically bred plant life with animal life to create a hybrid, and they were
A
in these
hybrid,
pods.
you say?
Yeah, and I like them. Yes, one of them is from Liverpool, and they do look a bit like a woman's part, but you know,
I believe it's known as a lady garden, which is very apt.
Lady gun.
I like the way that they sting people with the sort of thing coming out of their hands. I think that was quite nice. They're
Yep.
um,
Odd
The
design
Mac-
choice for a slave race.
yeah. I mean, it's a bit like Day of the Triffids, where they harvest the Triffids for oil, but they have to dock the sting. But if they don't dock the sting, they get a higher quality of oil. So they don't dock the sting in the farms. It's kind of maybe it's a similar thing. Anyway, I don't know.
That's something we're going to have to do.
What?
The BBC adaptation of Day of the Triffids.
Which one?
The first
Yeah, which one? The 70s.
John Deteen.
Yeah.
That is extremely 100% faithful to the book.
We're going to be doing it.
It's awesome. I've got it. I have it behind me. Yes, I love that one. By the way,
We've got...
Yeah.
Hang on. We've got Gold, Orbit, Warlord,
Frankincense.
and the final episode of Blake 7. After that,
Correct.
we'll do Nightmare Man. That'll be a 1-week job. And then we can look at Day of the Triffids.
Yeah.
You mean the 1962 movie?
No.
no,
1980, early 1980s.
1980
Late
TV
70s.
series.
Okay.
Okay.
BBC TV series.
There is another BBC TV series which is okay, but it's not as faithful to the book.
No, and it starts bringing his father and everything else like that. It's going, oh, fuck off.
No, the 80s series is very, very faithful to the book. I've read it many times.
No.
Anyway,
Have you had the sequel, Night of the Triffids?
no, never had the inclination really.
Ah, it's not bad.
Who
to be
wrote
fair.
it?
I can't remember.
Like I've never read any of the Foundation books after Asimov died. I never read any of those afterwards. You know, the ones that were
Pure SF. No, thank you.
yeah.
Give me my pulp stuff. It's pulp. We're back on plants again. Brian!
Yes,
Sarah the Vervoids, can you actually remember it?
I can a little bit.
Okay, go on then.
I remember the Power Ranger-esque monsters.
Mogarians.
Yeah, the
I
plant
quite
thing.
like them.
It's a bromide. Sorry.
It looks like a Power Ranger monster. What can I say? It was the Doctor and Mel, who aren't officially Doctor and Companion yet,
Nope.
Mhm.
Nope.
but they will be.
Yep.
They just aren't now.
Nope.
Doesn't he try to kill Mel?
Nope.
No. Which one does he try
Perry.
to? Perry. Okay.
The beginning
Yeah,
of its
yeah.
Yeah.
first episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brian, but you've earned that tonight. Oh, well,
Whatever.
There we go. It's there.
However, he in a blatant act of Matrix forgery, he does apparently smash up the communications room with an axe.
Yes, and looks
that is
very
not in-
satisfied about it.
Yeah, that is not in the edit without the courtroom stuff.
Oh,
It's not.
interesting.
No.
Okay,
No.
right.
Because of course it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So they don't include it in.
What about the scene? There's a scene where an earlier scene where the Doctor's not interested and basically says to Mel, "Yeah, you go off and investigate. I don't really care." And the Doctor says in the trial that didn't happen. What about that scene?
Oh. I don't think it's in there. Unless it's the bit where he tells Mel not to go looking in room 6. And they both end up in there. That's still in.
Okay.
Not sure.
Oh, dear me, this is interesting. The thing about this is Pip and Jane Baker were very good. They produced workmanlike stuff, but they did swallow with thesaurus. Adam.
Yeah, I really like Terror of the Vervoids. It's definitely my favourite, with the possible exception of episode 12, the penultimate one.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favourite story as a whole.
13.
For trial. 13, 14 episodes.
Yeah, it was a 14 episode.
Yeah, the final episode not so good, but the one written by Holmes.
Mm-hmm. Which is next
but
week.
anyway.
We'll be talking about next week.
Yeah. I have good memories of this when it went out. I remember being really proud of myself for noticing that the Bulgarian didn't do his later.
He's light
Button
thingy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, is that a mistake? No, it turned out to be a plot point.
God, you'd be a pain in the ass to watch television with.
Yeah. I remember having quite the crush on Janet as well, who died back in 2011, believe it or not.
She did. She died very young. Yolanda Palfrey's in an episode of Blake 7 as well.
Oh, is she? Yeah.
She's in Pressure Point. She's a freedom fighter, if I remember rightly.
Okay, yep, I remember the story. I remember the freedom fighters. Oh dear. Anyway.
Yeah, brain tumour, unfortunately. But yeah. I love the fact also that you get straight into the action. Doctor is known by Tonka Travers. So you get past all that rubbish, which they now got the psychic paper to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is quite clever. And I like the fact that... Yep.
And also the Doctor's defence being that he was actually called there by Hallett, the investigator, and it was there expressly on request.
Yeah.
And also he gets given... He is asked by Tonka to actually get his hands dirty. So that's the person in charge asking him for help.
Eventually, yes. But originally, he just says he knows he's going to go and investigate, but he doesn't stop him. Doesn't actually ask him until about midway through. Also, I like the fact there's so many moving parts in this, because it is a Agatha Christie-style murder mystery. You've got a lot of things happening. You've got Bulgarians wanting to get their stuff back, take the ship hostage or hijack it. You've got Hallett faking his own death when he is discovered. You've got the Vervoids coming to life, and then you've got Doland or the other one, whichever one it is, who wants the Vervoids to get back to Earth and is killing people to bring them out of there. So it's lots of moving parts, and I quite like that.
And Bruckner, who's horrified of what they've done and suffers an acute conscious and tries to start destroying all the data.
Yeah.
And Rudge.
And I really like some of the prosthetics as well on the hybrid.
I remember being very impressed at the time when I saw that. I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I also thought the set for the hold was very nice as well. The multi-level, the set was really well done, I thought. Yeah,
and the passenger areas are very 1980s hotel, which is
thinking pastels.
Perfect. Yeah. The whole thing, the design of it is really good.
What do we think of Mel? First story. What do we think?
Bit full on.
Strident.
Bit full on, strident and perky.
She's acting like she's on stage.
Yeah.
It's a very, I hate to use this word, it's a bit of a pantomime performance.
Ooh, that is a bit harsh, to be fair. Apparently, she didn't get much guidance. So,
I'm not sure it's the best directed story.
It's Chris Clough, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he goes on to direct The Ultimate Foe. Looking forward to that. Yeah, because next week, boys and girls, it's The Ultimate Foe. Last 2 episodes of Trial of a Time Lord. And therein lies a tale.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Do you know the background to these, Brian?
The background, no, but I'm familiar with the stories.
Okay.
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah. We're going to go
really
behind the
fit.
scenes a
Okay.
little bit.
Big stink.
Hellish Bonk.
There were resignations involved.
There were. Yes, and lawyers.
Yes,
Yep. Yep.
and middle of the night rewrites.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't this
sadly-
story also script edited by JNT rather than Saywood?
last
Well-
episode was.
Necessarily, yes.
Let's save that for next week. Right,
think
Christian
also this story
says
is
in chat, it's not perfect, but it's got much more good than bad. I always thought it was akin to the Robots of Death. I can see where you're coming from, but Robots of Death is so much better.
It is better, but it's still quite good, I think.
I ended up last night. I ended up watching. This is why I couldn't make lunch. I just got it into my head. I wanted to watch the Horror of Fang Rock. I haven't splurged on classic Doctor Who in a while. Been watching other stuff. So I watched that, and then I watched Image of the Fendal, and then made a start on the Daleks. Yeah, and as a result, my body decided to go, fuck you. I'm sorry, you thought you were getting out of bed today? No, that's not happening. I made it eventually. But, yeah, that was
Did
fun.
you have the right key for your room, though?
Oh, I locked myself out this week. It was bound to happen, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened far sooner. I've now got a little panicky moment every time I get ready to go out. Keys, must remember keys. I was going to give you a spare key today as well. Nuts.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, if Terror of the Vervoice teaches anything, is that any key works in any door. If you've got a key for door 6, it works in door 9, or vice versa.
Yes.
You can just...
They're all skeleton keys.
Yeah.
Master keys.
Joe Grant. Right. So it's the Ultimate Foe next week, and now I've got to fly solo. Thanks, Brian.
No problem.
Big Finish.
Ah.
For the love of stories. Right, so I listened to Charlotte Pollard, The Further Adventurous, which is, I think it's a 4 CD job, hour-long plays on each CD, and it's set between Minuet in Hell and Invaders from Mars.
Okay, pretty early.
Yes, and I'm going to make a point on that. It is so refreshing. McGann is back to being Time's kitten. Charlie, I mean, face facts, India Fisher knows that character backwards. And it's
Certainly
written,
did
and
a
the
long time
first
ago.
one is written by Alan Barnes, and Alan created Charlie. And so it's just refreshing. No time war, nothing weighing them down. It's just 4 fun adventures. Nothing, just good solid entertainment and with a lightness of touch, which I appreciated. So the first story, they land in Paris, and I've got to admit, at one point I did think the guy playing the head of the police was channeling Ian McKellen.
Oh, probably. Yeah. With a French accent.
Basically, there's this guy at a market, a fairground, the curiosity stall. He's got a mummy that he can make move and talk. This is interesting. However, unfortunately, the Doctor and Charlie have managed to upset the locals.
They're French.
Yeah, Charlie accidentally and with no realisation at all insults Napoleon. This is just after Napoleon's been gotten rid of, and people don't like people who don't like Napoleon. And so it all kicks off from there. You've got the mystery of the guy, the mummy that moves and talks. some lovely characters. And again, I can't go into too much depth for two reasons. One of them being it's brand new. I don't want to spoil it for you. The other one is I can't remember too much. Really enjoyable. The second one is set on Planet of the Giant Moths.
Okay.
And it's a fairly trad story. Exploitation of traditional.
Kids today.
I know. It is a traditional story. It's you can work out who the bad guys are, and the resolution is yep, saw that. The third story is an interesting one. They get stuck in the time jam. A load of time ships going to a particular place in a particular era.
He's had enough.
Next time, ask to be excused.
Sorry.
That was a very quick wee.
No, that was me hopping in my TARDIS very, very quickly.
Oh, what's happening in the war in Ukraine?
Not much going on right now, but in a couple days you're going to see some excitement.
Oh, okay.
I mostly had to go over to London to check to see if Day of the Triffids was on Netflix there. It's not.
No.
BritBox, probably.
We'll find a way of doing this, even if it means.
Oh, I can find a way.
Right. So, the second story, like I said, the Moths, traditional, a standard ending, if that makes sense. Third story, like I say, they're caught in a traffic jam of time ships. And it all rests on a causal loop. And frankly, the ridiculous notion of the Eighth Doctor piloting a giant time drill ship. Don't ask, you need to listen to the thing to understand, which is invisible and bonking a monster over the head with an invisible spaceship by accident.
Classic Big Finish.
Yeah. And then the fourth one is a sequel to Sword of Orion. Very early, I think it's the second McGann adventure, which featured the Garazone system and Cybermen and the fight between the androids and the humans. And there's one particular character in that who seems to sacrifice herself for the Doctor. Well, that character's back. And is trying to get the Doctor or trying to get the Doctor's help. The one thing you do have is that annoying piece of Garazone market music. And they had it in Sword of Orion, they had it in Dalek Empire, they now brought it back. Twitch. This is fun. It ties up nicely. It works. And again, there's no through arc. Each story stands alone. Each got a different flavour to it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good box set. This is a nice, cheerful box set. Nothing heavy about it. Yes, Andrew.
Does it explain how Charlie Pollard got to the 21st century and ended up narrating for MasterChef?
Oddly, no.
Next box set, maybe.
Well, what's it? They've made Nicola Bryant's appearance on Top of the Pops canon. Somehow. We need to get Davis, the YouTube channel, Davis, who comes at broke canon.
Oh yeah.
He's very good, very good. He'd be able to tell us about this sort of thing, or Thomas would. Thomas here, idiot. Right. So that's Big Finish. No idea what we're looking at next week. I say we, it'll be me. Possibly Peladon.
I believe rumor has it on the 29th for Peladon.
22nd
Okay.
today, isn't it?
7 days.
We'll find out when they release the next Big Finish podcast, which I think might be tomorrow. Don't know. I mean, I'll find out tomorrow what the release is because I get the press release, but. Americans. The BBC has a view of the Americans, or certainly used to have a view of the Americans. Whether it's still that way now or not, or if it's just got worse, I don't know.
Do you remember a very, very controversial and frankly fucking awful drama in the 1980s set on a US airbase in the UK, which basically depicted all the pilots and all the staff as being high on speed all the time?
That sounds like Whoops Apocalypse.
It was absolutely terrible, and it got a hell of a battering. And I don't remember what it was called, but it was just like, it was mental.
I want to know now. I want to see if it's on YouTube. I really do.
Oh.
So basically, Nathan Springer's gone to the American base. At the same
Ronald
time,
The main American station.
Yep.
and we're talking Star Cops, in case you were wondering. And oh dear, he basically wants to have a Star Cop stationed on the moon base because all the different moon bases should have one Star Cop member, so to speak.
This is a space station.
Okay, space station then. Fair enough. Yep.
And he wants 3. He wants a staff of 3 because it's a big station.
It is a big station. At the same time, somebody's sister is trying to get hold of her brother, who apparently was never on the space station. There's no records of him, and yeah, don't know what you're talking about, love.
Mm-hmm.
So therein lies the mystery.
All the while we've got a new moonbase coordinator,
We do. And
Russian Kravenko.
And simultaneously, a private pair of salvage people on board their own shuttle have found something on its way to the sun.
Yeah. Module which is drifting.
because the brother, there's a law that states you can't do anything biological in space.
There's a
Well, it's the American station has apparently decreed that this is not allowed. But whether this is a recent decision is open to interpretation.
I get that impression, yes.
So, I can reassure you boys I'm really enjoying this.
Good.
And it's one I will
This is my
go back
favourite episode of Star
good.
Cops.
Funnily enough, I haven't noticed the change in director just yet.
Ah, this is Graham Harper now, isn't it?
It is, yes.
You will next week.
What are we supposed to think about the new Russian moonbase director?
Well, he clearly knows more than he lets on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The Americans don't like him because, to quote them, they weren't ready for him yet.
Yeah.
They think Nathan Spring's been played, and that he's basically this Russian coordinator. It was their turn, but they're there 2 years ahead of schedule
Because the last moonbase coordinator got arrested by Spring.
Patton is allegedly a murderer.
Potentially.
We'll find out in 8 years' time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's in the series. I think if I remember rightly, apart from this episode, he's not really portrayed as a malevolent figure.
No, not at all.
But I think in this episode he's definitely playing a game. But I think it's for his own amusement more than anything else.
Wait and see.
He likes winding up Colin.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd noticed that, and Colin falls for it every bloody time because Colin's very unreconstructed.
Yeah, very.
as we will find out. There's problematical language coming up, boys and girls. Right, so Brian, you're the one who hates this. Tell us about it.
I don't hate it. I'm just ambivalent towards it.
Oh, what a word.
How did you feel your
Well
countrymen were portrayed?
Didn't care.
Okay. It's very much Cold War era.
Yeah,
With the
it's
Americans and the
war
Russians.
is very, 80s chic, but
It's not not necessarily wrong now, even with all the problems we're having with Ukraine and what have you.
right.
So you could quite see that in the near future there could be a similar situation.
I was okay.
This is a man who slept through a tornado warning. Does he look
No,
like
no,
he gives
no.
a
I
fuck?
woke up for the tornado warning. Thank you very much.
And then turned over and went back to sleep. Thank you
What he
very
I
much.
still woke up for it.
Look at this field. It is barren. It is where I cast my fucks. That is essentially Brian.
Field is where I grow my fucks. Behold, it's barren.
Yes, indeed. So, have you got anything to say about this? I mean, we're back to life on Mars again.
Not really. No. I'm far more positive on this than I was on Life on Mars.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I actually, Life on Mars, I was praying to end. This one, I just don't care if it ends.
Well, we're nearly halfway through it now.
Yeah.
You do
Sorry,
know that Lazarus is happening. The
Okay.
third installment.
Oh yeah. Allegedly.
Is that a Bowie song, Lazarus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
Is it?
fair, I've been
This is his last one.
I watched this on Monday along with everything else for the show tonight.
Yeah.
Fuck off, I can remember everything.
Yeah.
Or
Like I say, that is my world in a nutshell.
It's
I've
quite a
been watching
soulful.
more episodes of Fringe though,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
because it just came on HBO Max over here, and God, I forgot how much I love this show.
Well, like I say, I'm back into I need to watch Classic Who. So,
Watch Fringe. Walter is the ultimate.
maybe.
He's fantastic.
I've got to try Archive 81. I'm told you
Yes.
recommended it, other people have
Yes.
recommended it, so I've got to give that a shot.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Dr. Sinister, if we could have your attention just for a little moment there. I don't know, are you hungry? Have you got enough to pass round to everyone?
I'm eating a lanyard.
That belonged to Adric, and before that, Vash, you bastard! Tell us about Star Cops, Andrew.
Yeah, I love this episode. It's very quotable.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, obviously we're picking up from there's two strands we're picking up from the last episode. The first one is, why was Hubble bent?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out he was getting backhanders from somebody to keep Stum,
Mm-hmm.
amongst other things. And one of the things he was being asked to keep quiet about was what's happened with Mr. Goodman. And also, Kenzie's been put on administrative duties
Yes.
because he's basically trying to get rid of her.
Yeah.
And she's desperate to get away from her desk. But what I do like the interplay between them when she actually turns up on the Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And Nathan kind of lets her have a bit of leeway, and they kind of work together. I think they work together very well, But I also like Nathan Spring's, contempt of the Americans. When he's docking at the station, they send him out to a docking port that's so far at the edge of the station. He's like, you might as well be back at the main shuttle transfer. And the guy's like, pardon me? Nothing? Never mind.
There's some great stuff between Nathan and the American base commander.
Griffin, yeah.
Yeah.
Verbal sparring is.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that-
sharp.
There's a fantastic line where Nathan's alluding to, Hubble, and the commander kind of goes, there you go again. It's like, he doesn't know. It turns out that Nathan knows jack shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's,
that's just
but
it.
the Commander's convinced he knows the whole story, you know, and it's just he kind of, yeah, it's just interesting the way it kind of plays out. Really, I also
Never-
like.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say I never play Nathan Spring at pool.
Indeed.
Yeah, well,
Not
yeah.
above cheating.
exactly.
That was to make
and
his
I also,
point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I also like the kind of the two-hander of the two people on board the shuttle.
One of which was the boy child in in story
Sapphire and
3
Steel.
of Sapphire and Steel.
Aha, right, okay,
We now know why they didn't get him to talk.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that was quite humorous when he sort of misquotes and says, you know, oh yeah, chickens round the door, roses in the garden, or whatever it is, or that kind of thing. It's a fantastic episode. It really is.
It is. I really enjoyed it.
And when you get to see the Ronald Reagan, and it's absolutely fucking enormous, you kind of think, yeah, that's the sort of thing the Americans would probably build.
Yeah, with a rotating section for artificial gravity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
With every ship in for the humans in Babylon 5.
Mm.
With an Omega class destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was right. Yep, they had a rotating section.
Yeah.
However, they ended
Which
up not
was-
needing it because the Minbari shared their anti-grav technology.
Which I believe the design of that
gravity
ship
technology.
is based on the Russian ship from 2010.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give a quick shout out now to Medusa Cascade? Seeing as we've drifted into Babylon 5 territory. Medusa Cascade is a YouTuber and her Patreon's pretty good as well. She's doing live reactions to Farscape, Brian. As well as classic Doctor Who, new Doctor Who, and Babylon 5.
Yep.
Those who know Babylon 5, she's just done shadow dancing.
Nice.
She's
Z
now...
-2, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at Z-2. The next episode is Zahadum. And oh god.
If you go to Zahadum, you will die.
Yeah. First of all, it's another example of John Sheridan's natural affinity to nuclear weapons. Yeah, the thing about Medusa Cascade is she gets really emotional about this. And I sometimes worry about her. She's crying her eyes out, and it's... But I shout out to Medusa Cascade. So well worth... I mean, I'm paying £4 a month.
Oh, she's got... Okay, so she's up to season, what? At least 3 of...
Well, the thing on the Patreon things is somehow,
Yeah,
and
she's got
God
away.
knows how, somehow she's actually able to embed the complete video and sound.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
she's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
away with it is anybody's idea. Obviously, she can't do it on YouTube, but on Patreon,
well,
she's getting away
you
with
can
it.
broadcast it to YouTube with the full sound because, you know...
Just the YouTube one is cut, it's edited.
Yeah.
But the full length ones, it's okay, so I can sit back and watch
She
the
did
episode as well.
Sapphire and Steel.
She did Sapphire and Steel. That's probably back in the old days, I would
Sapphire
imagine,
and
when it
Steel,
was just
Children
YouTube.
of the Stones. I want to see her reaction to Children of the Stones.
Yeah, okay. Well,
love
subside.
it.
Subside?
Love it.
Yes, subside to her.
I've never seen Children of the Stones, but I've decided I'm going to watch it now, having seen your recommendation, Brian.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay, so I did
Not
have it on,
traumatize a kid. This is how you do it.
I did have it on video, but I don't have it on DVD.
It's on YouTube. I have a playlist for all the
Oh, that's
third
good.
act stuff.
All right, so that's another thing. Oh, good, they're popping up. They're sticking their heads up above the parapet to be looked at. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so Dark Ops episode 4, absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward, as always, once the show's finished, I go and watch the next episode. So
I love the final shot as well. That when they're met back on Earth by the press.
Yeah,
Brilliant, funny ending.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wasn't his sister after all.
No, she was a reporter. By the way, have you guessed so far tonight's thing? No?
John Hurt, 1984.
Ooh, Brian, that's a good one.
At least I made the attempt.
Yeah, man. Nice try. Nice try.
Yeah,
The next thing we're going to talk about left me moderately happy.
Okay.
Blake 7. Sand. Now, I remember watching this on original transmission and not actually being very, very impressed. However, a certain would-be dictator, not you, Adam, it's his second favourite Blake 7 episode. And so I sat down to watch it, thinking, oh, God, I'm not going to enjoy this. I bloody loved it. I absolutely loved it. Coming back to it since its original transmission and seeing it again, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Basically, there's been a distress call from a mysterious planet that has energy and strange stuff happening. It's the planet CSO that occasionally appears on film.
Yeah.
And ostensibly, Servalan is there because the Federation want this mysterious energy or whatever. But it turns out that the guy who sent the distress call was her lover, if such a thing could be. Essentially,
She gets around.
Yeah.
When she was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is in Avon, a terrible novel aspect.
I don't think
no,
it is.
Meatloaf
To
died.
watch that with a credit card. All I'm saying.
Meatloaf died.
Yes, Friday.
Sorry. Oh, damn. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, unfortunately, he died of COVID. And
Anti-vaxxer.
he
So,
was
you
an
know.
anti-vaxxer, anti-masker.
No, he refused to get vaccinated. His entire idea was, if I die, I die.
And he died.
Big surprise there, then.
He died.
I mean, even if he'd have recovered, he'd have probably been a bit fucked to be able to sing properly because the long COVID thing screws your lungs
Well,
up.
He had
he
back
would do
issues as well.
anything for life, but he wouldn't do that.
Sorry, I just remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of a kicker.
I've been blasting Meatloaf's tunes around here all weekend.
Mm. Anyway, back to Blake 7. Yeah, so who should we start with? Adam.
Hello.
Hello. Dear.
I don't remember this one really at all. I rewatched it today. And at first I thought, this is looking a bit dodgy. The sets they used for Trudging Across the Planet were pretty poor.
Yep.
You had cases where they were quickly cutting between video and film.
Yep.
Like the bit where, was it Dana gets shot in the arm, is it?
Yeah.
There's that very same bit, part of that shot is on video, half of the shot is on film. Looks dreadful. But nonetheless,
there is a scene that goes from intricate, I suppose, for the time, CSO, and goes straight into film. It's whoa, and it's film interior, not location. Studio
it's
film, and it's
yeah.
Oh, that's
something.
not good.
Who knows?
But
Yeah,
the story.
Story, however, is really good. If you look past watching Servalan wandering across this planet in high heels.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the actual story and the stuff between her and Tarrant. Really good.
She's just finished telling him about her lover who's died and whatever, and then she snogs him.
Yeah. Well,
There's
rebound.
possibly a reason for that.
Yeah, she did grab his gun.
Poor writing.
And what?
Poor writing.
Well, there's that.
How awful was Tarrant this week, boys and girls?
Tarrant?
Yes. How awful was
Pretty
he?
good, I'd say.
He was all right.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. And how is Avon?
Not doing a
Fine.
great deal. Yeah.
It'll be fine. Everything's on fire. It'll be fine.
I felt very sorry for Villa. As soon as the
Yeah.
subject
He
of
went
Callie
back
got
on
brought up.
on the booze, didn't he?
Yes. Well, Sulin brought up Callie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit rough,
yeah.
wasn't it?
I like that not one word.
What, Callie?
That not one word. No, Villa goes to Sulin, not one word.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Good.
Warning
Yeah.
her off. This is not a subject you want to approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice touch. And technically also, I mean, that scene itself is a touchstone to her previous year's story, Sarcophagus. Yeah, I actually enjoyed those little continuity notes, if I'm honest with you. I often think Series D, is missing that sort of feeling of being part of the whole thing, if that makes sense. It's
What's the fact they killed Callie off screen?
yeah,
Well, it's
Yeah.
particularly brutal. But the fact they reference her occasionally is good.
How did Big Finish bring her back?
oh, they didn't bring
Give a setting.
her back. There was an earlier setting.
Yeah.
I have actually uncovered the reason as to why Big Finish are not doing Series D.
Oh, yeah.
It is indeed a different copyright.
How is that?
Yeah,
Series A to C are allegedly copyright Neri Nahon.
right here. Yeah.
Series D is copyright BBC and thus subject to a completely different licensing arrangement.
Oh, God.
Oh, that explains the documentary series.
It's
Now,
kind of
I
like
don't know how accurate this description is, but that's how it was explained to me.
That makes sense.
that does, because it sounds a lot like how NBC did Battlestar Galactica, and then it jumped to the Sci-Fi Network. So that would presumably have the same issues.
Yeah, I'd heard
And we
it was
know-
something about copyrights, but
We know BBC rights issues are fucked up at the best of times. I mean, you've got Bob Baker and Dave Martin own K9. Neri Nahon's got 50% of the Daleks. You know, different
Halesman and
people.
Lincoln decided, fuck you.
Yeah, Derek Sherwin claims he invented your unit, and
Victor Pemberton, the
Okay.
sonic screwdriver.
yeah, so you know, it's all completely messed up. I don't know how the new series copes with it. I mean, I guess Stephen Moffat must own the Weeping Angels. I don't know.
he is credited when they appear.
They, sort of, what you were saying, sort of not. Actually, it's not. It's apropos of nothing. I got to use that phrase. Hey, in the right context. The saw something on Twitter. I think it was yesterday, and it was. Oh, I think Clayton Hickman had colorized a black and white picture of Anthony Anius the Master reading DWM, the Eagle Award-winning one,
All right, yeah.
with Peter Davidson. And there was a little back and forth between people who'd worked for DWM because Amy was a little bit notorious for being awkward. Especially
Yeah, if you want
peanuts,
monkey.
monkeys, you pay peanuts. Yeah, that was DWB.
yeah.
Turns out he was also like that with the BBC.
Oh, really?
He used to give them so much grief over the amount of money he got for rights and everything else like that. The BBC ended up saying, we're not going to license the Master in that respect anymore, not in his aspect, because we just can't be bothered to deal with him anymore. He's too much of a pain in the ass.
Well, this apparently is Big Finish. I think would be more than welcome to negotiate the rights to Series D, but they can't be bothered.
Well, what do they gain by doing it? Not much.
And also, there's no Avon.
Yeah, at this point, it's
And Glynis Barber won't have anything to do with it anymore. So
yeah.
you know, I mean, it is apart from a few standard
You've got
episodes,
the
it is an inferior series.
You've got the Sevenfold Crown and whatever the other BBC one was.
Synthetic experiment.
Yeah, which were written by Barry Letts, and they weren't that good. They turned from Villa from a drunkard into a glutton.
Yeah, and you've got Avon saying things like the FedSec boys, and I'm like language he never used in the series.
Oh dear, oh very dear. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Sinister talks to me about Blake 7. Please go now.
So this is my second favorite episode of Blake Seven, which is odd because it's in Series D, which is an inferior series compared to C, for example. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're both written. My two favorite episodes are both written by the same person.
Both have a fucking strange opening. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the bits on film on the planet Vern, they kind of have like a dreamlike quality to them. It's kind of slightly weird, and in fact, I think there is an explanation as to. I do like, by the way, I like the interplay between Tarrant and Servalan. In fact, she seems like a really nice person, and I think there is a reason. There's a reason for this. Don't forget, they were there for the sand to feed on as a breeding couple. I think they were being influenced by the sand. They would do the naughty. There's a particular scene where, in fact, it's interesting. One of the people on the spaceship is played by the guy who played Prell in one of the very early episodes of Blake Seven, and I'm wondering if it's the same character.
I don't know. I know the pilot who was left is the idiot
Daniel Hill.
Baines, and also Bristol in Charlotte.
Ran a nursing home,
Yes,
didn't he?
Baines.
Yeah. Anyway, So there's a particular scene where the guy who plays Prell, I'm going to call him Prell. That's probably
call
not
him
his
Prell,
name.
Fuck it.
He's just been
Only
killed
Tony
by the
was there.
sand, and you've got Stephen Yardley's characters looking at him, and Servalan's just kind of sat there looking bored. I thought that was really well done. I like the fact that the sand it's generated by the planet, so they make it rain and kill the sand off, and then Avon's they say, oh, it's probably cooking up a new batch, and it's the threat isn't kind of over kind of thing. But I just really like the episode. I think I can't really put my finger on it. It's a little bit haunted house, a bit like Sarcophagus was, because when they're on board the Scorpio and there's lightning and shit going on, and
I was about to say, the Scorpio does have a tendency to suffer from thunder. I mean, it happened with Headhunter.
yeah,
But
You have to bear
BBC
in mind-
loved that sound effect.
yeah, it's the stock thunderclaps.
sound.
And,
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
them somewhere.
and also, I like some of the dialogue was you've already picked up on some of the dialogue stuff, but there's a bit where Tarrant says to Servalan, "You remind me of the girl next door."
Yeah.
And she says, "And what would you do if I was the girl next door?" He said, "I'd move next door."
You've got to. This is very much Jacqueline Pierce's episode. Finally,
Yeah.
Servalan gets a bit of airtime where we just see behind the mask.
Yeah, a little bit.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's,
And I think if she had any reason to kill Tarrant, it's because she'd let the mask slip
yes.
slightly.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there.
But yeah, I really like this one. Like I say, it to my mind, yes, it is a bit jarring with the film and video thing, but it also has this dreamlike. It has this dreamlike quality to it, which I find interesting. I don't know whether that's deliberate or not.
Oh no!
It's
Now
not-
I'm thinking about the caves and the mutants and the
It's not
radiation
quite.
cave.
It's not quite to the same extent of smearing Vaseline over the lens like they did in the Web Planet. But it's there is this kind of dreamlike quality to it, and I just think it's a quality episode. This episode could have fitted in any series of Blake Seven,
But yeah,
in my opinion.
fair enough. In fact, no, I disagree. I'd say possibly not series one. It was too serious. Series one. This was a bit too out there for it, I think. Series two onwards, possibly. I don't know why I'm saying this.
And what I also like is that the sand identifies that Villa's the weak one, and that's the
Yeah.
one that it can eat.
Yeah. Poor Villa.
Poor Villa. Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
next week. Oh no, Brian's got to do talking first.
No, okay.
No, go on. Talk about Blake 7. Did you enjoy it?
about it?
Did you enjoy
I
it?
liked it. It wasn't bad.
This is good.
Severlin and Tarrant almost get their swerve on.
Servalan. We'll get
Whatever.
you saying it.
Well,
The series
The
is
thing is-
almost over. You know it's not going
I
to take.
know.
You say almost got their swerve on. There is a cut
There is.
where
There is very much a cut.
I'd like to think that. So Villa got his end away in Series C. I'd like to think that Servalan and Tarrant did the dirty.
Go
Okay,
with that.
hang on a second.
What about Avon going all alpha male and possibly getting both Sulin and Dana?
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
anyone on that ship could use a romp, it's Avon. Okay?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Christian's saying everything's gone quiet.
It's gone
Can
quiet.
you hear me, mother?
all
Okay,
okay,
we're
yeah.
back again.
All right, okay. No
Oh,
idea
okay.
what happened there. Oh,
He's
dear.
having
Did it so? Basically, I mean, Sinister's reactions read, but the rest of us, yeah, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good.
yeah, it was okay.
Another goodie next week. I think it's Gold. We've only
We
got
have
four.
Roy Kinnear.
Yeah, we got 4 episodes left. We've got Gold, Orbit,
Orbit.
Warlord,
Warlord,
and the last one.
which we're not naming.
Well, I think Brian already knows the name of it.
I saw the name of the final episode.
If Brian, you have found out about it by accident, because Sinister and I were talking about this. It's on Facebook. It's probably difficult to avoid. Tell me, please. Don't string me along. That's all I ask. If you haven't, fucking brilliant.
The only thing I've seen is in the list there.
You've seen the
BritBox,
name.
it says, the name of the episode,
Okay, that's fair enough.
and it has a thumbnail.
But we're nearly there. Yeah, just to think. Who's quick on the internet here? Sinister? Adam?
What?
Can you just check BritBox for me? Blake 7 Series D. The thumbnail for
It's got a picture of him.
It's got a picture of Blake, does it?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
well,
again.
is it Blake?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
There are
Had
clones
a
out
not
there.
Blake before. Yeah.
Suffice it to say, there has never been a series finale quite like this one.
Is that good or bad?
Oh, Blackadder goes forth.
That might be saying a bit too much.
Possibly.
Well, to be fair, you haven't seen Farscape's series finale yet. That is the only finale to ever make me shout at a TV.
The only finale to ever make Adam Purcell cry, even though he denies it, is Babylon 5's Sleeping in Light. Look at him, he's looking shifty there. I find nowadays I cry quite easily at silly things. I was reading a piece that got shared earlier, behind the scenes stuff about the Andre Previn Morecambe and Wise sketch. And
Why'd that make you cry?
Preview.
Mr. Preview. And the fact that they had no idea if Previn was going to be any good. And first of all, they found out that he was in an interesting way. And then there's this moment where, Previn turns around and says, I'll just go and get my baton. Oh, where is it? At home. Or in Canada, I think he says. And that's the moment Eric Morecambe knew. And this is during the taping. That's the moment he knew it was going to be okay. And when he punches the air and goes, yes, the boy's got it, I like it. That's genuine. It's and I was reading that and I was welling up a little bit. It's such a warm, heartwarming story.
Yeah.
I'm an old softy in my old age. Dear me.
Now they're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. It happens,
now
I suppose.
I like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone else occasionally think it's a bit spooky that we're watching old TV and old films and a lot of the people who did them are dead? We're watching dead people talk to dead people.
Yeah.
Or trying to
Anything
get it on with dead people.
Note to
Sapphire
future
and Steel all over
historians,
again.
there's a good chance I might still be alive because I plan to live forever or die trying.
Right.
We haven't spoken to future historians for a while, have we?
No, we haven't.
Hello, future historians.
Does Adam know about the future historian
Yes.
thing?
No. Tell Adam, please. This is a brilliant
Well,
theory.
we don't get very many viewers of this now. I'm firmly of the view that in the future we are a phenomenon and that our work is followed religiously,
Yep.
and we like
Yeah.
we like to talk to the future people.
We do.
and
We
say
are
hello.
keeping
To
The
the
historical texts. No.
This is what we call the hand.
And we also like to apologise occasionally to the future
Yes,
people
we do.
the state that they're currently in.
Yes, we are very deeply sorry about that.
However,
Trust us,
should
some
the
of us have
people
tried.
like to look me up on Mars when they do find these tapes, please do so. I'll try to explain them as best as I can remember.
Please remember to mention me in tapes you might leave behind. Oh, 2 quotes for the price of 1 tonight. Look at that. Talking about which, have you worked out the link?
No.
Rolf Harris.
No. It was the end of Bat Out of Hell.
Close.
Ah.
That's not the end of Bad Out of Hell.
Yes, it is.
No. I know the end of Bad Out of Hell.
Trust me. Trust me.
That wasn't the end of Bad Out of Hell.
Okay. Go and look it up now whilst we're on the thing. I will apologise if I'm wrong.
It's
I'm
Bat
big
Out of Hell about a cricket game.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, do you want the entire song or?
No, we want the end. How does it end?
In fire.
There we go. Listen to the women.
The lamentations of the women.
Yes, but you sing it off key. So it throws everything
That's
off.
part of the problem. Your part's supposed to get. Why do I bother? By the way, was I correct? Was I right, Brian? Was I right? Yes?
No.
Yes, I was.
No, it was your interpretation of the end of Bad Out of Hell.
Righty ho, if you say
Because
so.
I'm dying at the bottom of a pit in a blazing sun.
It was
Born
Siobhan's.
at the foot of a burning bike. And I think
was
somebody somewhere is tolling a bell.
I
That
think
would
I
probably-
found I dramatically interpreted it.
It was an arrangement.
Yes, like my arrangement of silence last week.
A funeral arrangement.
Well, funereal, certainly. Oh dear. Yeah, okay. Never question me on music, Brian. Not like that. Not when I've heard it. I'm the one person who turns around and say every fucking Marvel movie they get the Spider-Man theme wrong.
It's not the Ramones.
They get it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There's certain
they don't use
notes
the remote.
where
You gotta
on the
use
cartoon version, it goes, I think maybe sharp on the sing. So it's Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Whereas when they play it, it's da 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 da, and it's wrong. It's wrong.
Just get the,
So it's wrong.
Just use the Ramones version. It's way better.
I'll listen to. I will look for the Ramones version, and I will listen. I've also seen Cyberbrig as well. That's quite good. That's out there on YouTube. But it really pisses me off that they get their own fucking theme tune wrong. Excuse my language. Ooh, where has that?
Can they get it wrong though?
Spider-Man and
Yes,
his
they have.
amazing friend.
They can't get it wrong. It's their theme tune. If they want to change their theme tune, they can.
Yeah, but it's wrong.
It is wrong.
No,
It is wrong.
You can change your own theme tune if you want to.
It's wrong.
It doesn't make it wrong. It makes it a different interpretation of it.
No. If Stanley was still alive, he'd be turning in his grave.
At least now they're going to be bringing back the 90s X-Men with the correct theme
With the
tune.
correct theme tune, yes.
Yeah. Dun it. Dun it.
Was I Love Lucy?
I think you're playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
All the right order. That is a wonderful sketch. It really is. So, next week, Friday night, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Dr. Sinister, who's just up there, doing a thing, being Magnus Pike, I suspect. Dr. Sinister and I will be observing The Stolen Earth for your entertainment, and we'll be talking over it. Saturday night, fuck all's happening. There may be some Diablo 2 gameplay. It depends whether the boys and girls are free to play, because we haven't played in ages. Sunday, next Sunday.
He's being subtle.
Hey, what?
Huh?
What?
I don't.
Oh, possibly. Sunday's Flashing Blade again, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we will be looking at The Ultimate Foe. I'm talking a bit about that and behind the scenes shenanigans.
Fantastic word, shenanigans.
It's a great word. I love shenanigans. It's a great word. It's not quite up there with lozenge. I love lozenge. It's such a brilliant word. Say it with me. Lozenge. What about nut bunnies? Hugbees.
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 There are certain words I hate. I hate the word plimsoll.
What about petrichlor?
That's fine, but plimsoll should be outlawed. I also hate the word punnet. It's a basket of strawberries. Why does it need its own fucking word?
You'd love Newspeak. You really would.
Next year's dictionary is going to be that thin.
Oh, very dear. What we're doing, but yeah, so it's Ultimate Foe. I think it's Peladon. I think that's what's out this week. We'll find out. There'll be a Big Finish review of some kind, because I'll be listening. Saying that, if there is no Big Finish, I have decided to fill in some gaps in my knowledge. I'm going to make an admission now, and I'll put this up. I will put this up. There we go. There. I'm honest. There we go. I'm coming to you because it's a safe space to admit this. I haven't heard all the missing episodes.
Nor me.
So I'm going to try and put that right. Yeah. So I'm trying to work out where to start. Do I start with Marco Polo or do I pick and choose? I don't know. I've got to admit.
Can I be equally honest with you?
Please.
I can't imagine anything more fucking tedious than listening to the audio of Marco Polo.
That's where my head is at the moment, if I'm honest with you. Part of me is thinking maybe the Mythmakers, because apparently it's fucking brilliant.
Well, it's more of a play for laughs, some of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Is there a Doctor in the Horse? They nearly managed to get away with that. They managed small profit, quick return brilliantly. They really did. Oh, thank you, Christian. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that this week. I'm trying to work out. I've just realised I've only got one working CD player in the house, and that's on my Blu-ray. Luckily, it'll go through the amplifier, and I could technically pair my headphones with the amplifier and listen to it that way.
Ooh, high tech.
Well, I'm having to redo things now. The Xbox ain't working. Like I said, oh yeah, Patreon thing. Worked it out. Okay. Not only am I looking for a replacement Xbox, it can be secondhand. As long as it works as a media center, I'm happy. I'm also after an iPad. So, where it's very unlikely we'll actually put up a Patreon. But if we did, what should we do for levels? Now, someone suggested full frontal nudity. Sorry?
A special episode of Dr. Emu.
Yeah.
Well, early access and behind-the-scenes footage.
Early access to one of the grand projects.
Glorious projects.
Glorious projects.
Thank you very much. I didn't name them that. He did. And I'm not arguing with him. He's got
Okay.
Behind the scenes of the glorious projects.
Yeah, behind the scenes on the glorious projects, yeah. Sit down and have a cup of coffee with us at Hooverville. Or Dwas Capital, or Big Finish Day. Which, before we all vanish off afterwards tonight, Andrew, Adam, we need to talk that through a little bit.
Okay.
You were told to stop contributing to the plate. Oh dear, is that something I've forgotten? Oh Lord, I've been doing this too long. I know. I mean, what could we put up? I mean, we could basically offer. I was going to say 10 full frontal pictures for the £5 entry, 5 full frontal pictures for the £10 entry. Pay £20 and you don't get any. What do you think? No, maybe not.
Cat's ass.
William Hartnell voice message.
Beyond the grave.
I don't know. Come on, guys. What can you do? Right, so there's that.
I could for 20 euros. I'm gonna go 20 euros.
Okay.
I will favorably review Big Finish.
Now, that's a
For
big ask.
100, I will watch Ashes to Ashes.
First season.
Oh, the game is on. The game is on. Hang on. Let's quantify this. Do you mean just the first episode, the first series, or all of it?
Ooh.
Or are we talking stretch goals now?
Those would be stretch goals. Those would be. All right,
So
all
for
right.
the 100, what would viewers get for the 100?
For the $50 tier, I'll watch the first season of Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, you've cheapened yourself. Okay.
No. $75, I'll watch the second season of Ashes to Ashes.
Right.
For 100, I will watch the third season of Ashes to
What
Ashes.
happens
Brilliant.
if we
Third season.
only get one £100 donation? Are you just going to watch the third season? Or are you going to have to watch all of them first?
Yes. No, just the third.
Yes, Dr. Sinister.
I have no idea what's going on.
I will find something favourable to say about the Madge Arwell episode of Doctor Who that I've only ever watched once.
Ow.
It's still in the cellophane. I've never opened it.
Will you open it?
Andrew.
I'll open it and I'll watch it.
Andrew.
Wow.
No. I couldn't do that to you. I'm sorry, that's just cruelty.
Oh, but you make me watch Ashes to Ashes. Thanks.
You volunteered that, but Madge Arwell's a whole different matter. Fuck me. You need
I
to go
haven't
back and watch the
opened
Vidiprog. The amount of things that woman is guilty of.
I watched that episode on
If we
transmission.
get 3 people
I
at the
refuse to watch
$50
it.
tier, I will watch the first season of Ashes to Ashes. 3 people.
Are we actually doing this to get me a replacement Xbox? Not a new one, second-hand one.
I just want to see how many
And an
people
iPad.
suffer. I know a couple exes that would gladly sign up for this now.
I mean, if we just get one person doing one tier, we're going to have to go out of our way to do that. You're prepared for that?
We'll do it. Yeah. I will even do a live react to the
Well, we're
first
doing a live react to Blake.
We're doing a live react
So
to
that's
Blake. But I'll
coming
do a
up.
live react to the first episode of Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, I want to be there for that.
That will be at the $35 tier, and I need 4 people to sign up.
Whoa. That's 35. So 4 people paying $35 will get you watching the first episode of a live react to Ashes to Ashes.
First
140.
episode. First episode only.
First episode only. Okay. Chat, there are 5 viewers according to this. If anybody's actually, I think Christian's still with us. Do we think this is a good idea? And is it moral? Because it's for technology
I
for me.
remember how violently I hated
Well,
Life on Mars.
we could put together some sort of video to introduce the Patreon to people, and you could express just what a sacrifice you're making.
There are sanity points. There are. This is a huge time investment.
Okay. I think we need to garner some more views, so possibly pop it onto Facebook and just say, look,
Share it out.
If we're gonna do this, what would you want from us, sort of thing? Because I have no idea what we can do. Sorry, I'm not used
Chance
to
of
this.
anybody, people wanting to pledge that much money a month is pretty slim. I don't pledge anything like that.
People
Oh,
would like to
fuck,
watch.
That's a month, isn't it? Of course, it's a month. It's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
was thinking of just giving.
No, it's a month. That's why I said if there are 3 people doing it, I will gladly watch the first episode. And
But if
that's just for a month. Once we hit that 3, magic time.
We'll have to discuss this afterwards, whether we're actually going to do a just giving or a Patreon. I don't mind doing extra stuff for Patreon as long as it's just me sitting here babbling away. I can do that until the cows come home. I don't know. If only we had our own little server, we could put all the back flashing blades on there, and say you get, certain tiers, you get access to the old stuff. But then again, that's a bit unfair on people who used to co-host. To be honest with you, I'd need to ask their permission. It'd feel wrong not to.
For $5 a month, I will do 1 video a month reviewing my Transformers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, I stress this is to get me technology. It's because what I'm really looking forward to doing.
I'll gladly do this stuff.
I am looking forward to basically being able to sit in my sofa and role play, rather than here, because I'm right next to a hole in the wall, and I'm chilly, and also it doesn't do my back too much good. So
For $5 a month, I will give away my recipes for cooking.
yeah. I'm placing this in my head.
Meth.
Yeah, $5 a month. Yeah.
Say his name. WW. Willy Wonka. Look, we might do something. It'll either be a Patreon or just giving, because I certainly need the Xbox, because I'm sick to death of having to fuck around with various bits of equipment and remote controls and this, that, and the other. When I used to have it all tightly done in my Xbox and all coming through nicely, and it was annoying. And like I say, the iPad is for music more than anything else. Yeah. And an Android tablet, I've not seen anything as good as GarageBand on Android, which surprises me, but there we go. Basically, an Android tablet is essentially just a large phone. iPad does have certain differences, which I do find like I say, the music. It's oh, hello, he's doing his Dr. Evil pose.
Either that or you had a hangnail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've had one of those. Was it last night I had one of those, or the night before? This is the excitement of my life. So, what are we doing next week? Brian, what are you doing next week?
I am working, and I am watching season 2 of Fringe.
Fair enough.
When things start heating up, yeah.
Dr. Sinister, what are you up to next week?
Working and starting to work from the office again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like I was before the most recent kind of lockdown thing.
Righty-ho. So I am doing nothing except possibly driving to Basingstoke or meeting Dr. Sinister at our local cafe. I'm not sure which.
Did you guys get the present yet?
No, I've got to... It should be Monday. Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So that's my week. Adam?
Working, of course, as ever. Perhaps recording a couple of commentaries if I can get the people in. We need to catch up on the end of Flux. And probably catch up on a few films from last year, because we've got our film next weekend for 2021. Things to catch up on. I need to watch the second half of it. I gave up.
Okay, you're
after the first
cutting
half.
in and out again for some reason.
Oh, no.
Your voice, I'm afraid. It's your mix.
Never mind. Yeah, I got to watch the second half of Eternals.
Good luck.
It's not, Endgame by any stretch of the imagination. But it ain't bad. It sets up the next phase.
I just thought it was, for a Marvel movie, it was dull.
It was. I gave up after about an hour and 10 minutes.
There's a lot of backstory included in this.
I mean, it opens up with exposition, and we know from the TV movie that's not how to do it.
I am just really happy that they finally brought in the third member of the Warlock Trinity.
Patton Oswalt doesn't look anything like himself.
Mm-hmm.
Patton Oswalt.
Pip the fucking troll.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
I'm just so happy about Pip.
Thing is, will he be allowed to smoke a cigar?
He better be.
Yeah.
He better be drinking. He better be smoking, swearing, making lewd comments at women, farting. Definitely gotta have the farting.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has
gross.
The space stone in his navel.
Yeah. He's gross.
And it's perfectly safe there because nobody
I've explained the Trinity to you, Adam. You've got Adam Warlock, who we've seen at the end of Guardians of the Galaxies 2.
Well, not really.
Gamora.
Sorry, the machine.
Yeah. Gamora. And Pip. Pip the Troll. Someone has pointed out that the Eternals had a very legitimate reason for trying to stop Thanos.
Yeah.
He's a bloody deviant. He's got a deviant gene in him.
He carries the deviant gene because his mother was a Skrull.
Yeah. It's, explains the scrotum face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I do like having my Marvel
the
friends.
mutant Eternal from Titan.
Yeah.
And that race was wiped out by the Skrulls. Alars from Earth went to Titan, found one survivor there. It turned out to be a female Skrull. And she altered her appearance, and they repopulated the planet.
Right,
Wow,
okay.
bit of a genetic bottleneck
I was
there,
thinking,
but okay.
yeah, that's going to be interesting. Mind you, Skrulls can shapeshift, so...
That's kind of like, Adam and Eve only having sons.
Yeah,
did
that
that
was a problem, wasn't it? Yeah.
And
Good evening, Christians everywhere.
Other religions are available.
Yeah, terms and conditions
Many.
apply,
Very many.
however. You
I'm
may
wondering
risk
why they
your
don't know
soul by not keeping up repayments on it.
I got 5 extra.
Ooh, that's worrying.
I used to sell stereos. You'd be amazed at what people do for 10% off.
Oh, dear.
Here's the thing. You guys think I'm kidding about that.
No, I don't. That's just it.
They're upstairs in my nightstand.
Right, I think we'd better go.
Time to fix the washing machine.
We better go. We're at 1 hour 50, just over. Yeah, I've got to go and have a couple of microwave cheeseburgers.
Don't have to.
Yeah, I do. That's the only food I've got in the house.
Yeah, but maybe
Bar
better off
dairy
going with
milk
that.
as well. Got a bar of dairy milk as well.
I'm gonna
Among
go
them
have-
together. Hey, it's Ty. Oh, it was Ty.
It was the cat.
Yeah.
It was.
So, yeah, that's it. Let us know what you think about whether we should have a Patreon or just giving and what we could do as rewards for people. Please do. Well, we've got one person who's in. Thank you very much, Christian. YouTube, it's down to you now. What do you think? Yeah, that's a bit weird. Okay, we're going away. Even before the was part deviant. He was indeed. Thank you very much, Christian.
Yes.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Thank you for agreeing with us.
Yep. Say goodbye, boys and girls.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
boys.
Boys and girls.
Other genders are available. And I've just fucked up this opening of this.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Article 7 permits no exceptions. John Levine has destroyed a complete species. The charge must now be genocide.
Adam's goat.